I don't remember the last time I saw a kids menu without chicken nuggets. They love them. So I wanted to attempt to make them from scratch for you. Not the crumb version, but the fast food variety. Of course, these ones are much more wholesome and I find it very satisfying to make. In fact, I love this recipe so much, I included it in my new book, Cook Ahead, because the beautiful thing about this is you can make a huge batch of these, portion them up into the freezer, so when you want a quick meal of chicken nuggets, they're there for everyone. First, we need to mince our chicken. Yes, you can use pre-minced chicken if you like. I'm going to mince it myself. So this is chicken breast. It goes into a food processor, and it's always a good idea to have it nice and cold so it doesn't get too sticky. So in with our chicken. I'm going to add a small pinch of salt, but depending on your child's age, you can leave the salt out completely. And just to ensure that binds, 1 egg. Okay, the lid goes on and I'm going to blend this until it's minced and sticky. That is looking terrific. Now what we need to do is form these into little meatballs and dust them with some corn flour. So I've got 2 trays on standby. I'm going to add some of the corn flour to the tray now. This just makes it a little easier to handle. So just a small amount on the base so they don't stick. We'll pop that to one side and then we can start making these. Now these can be as small or as large as you like. I'm using just this little ice cream scoop here. Just makes it so much easier to just scoop it out and then place onto our tray. So I've made them about walnut size shapes. And we are going to reshape them to make them look a little bit more like a nugget. But honestly, it doesn't matter too much about the shape as long as they're roughly the same size. So once that's done, what I like to do is grab some more of the corn flour and then dust that over the top. And that's when you can get your hands in there, just because it is quite sticky, and roll it around, roll, flatten slightly, and then onto the other tray. Okay, so I'm going to continue this process and then they go into the freezer. They only need about 15 minutes. We just want to make sure they're not too soft before we add them to our delicious batter. For the batter, you'll need about a cup of plain flour. To this, we're going to add some flavourings, so some garlic powder and onion powder. And I've also got some mustard powder here too. This is also going to give it a really nice pale yellow colour. So we'll give that a little stir, combine all of those ingredients, make a well in the centre, and then we'll crack another egg into our flour. And just like you were making any type of batter, we're going to break up the egg, slowly bring in the sides and then add the water. Now you'll need around 200 to 250 millilitres of water, depending on your flour. We're looking for a thick batter. So slowly adding in the water and then keep stirring. And you can see how thick that is. I'd say thicker than a pancake mixture. Okay, this is the fun part, slightly messy, but that's what I love about cooking. We're going to take our little chicken nuggets and we're going to dunk them in the batter, lift them up, make sure that they're coated on both sides, and then we're going to place them back onto another tray over here. Okay, we'll just take them off. And then these go back into the freezer on the tray. Ideally, you want to leave them for a good couple of hours so they firm up a bit. Okay, the chicken nuggets have been in the freezer. They've firmed up nicely. I've got some vegetable oil here. I'm going to shallow fry them as opposed to deep fry them. And I just like to add a wooden spoon or a chopstick into the oil. See all of those bubbles? That's a good sign that the oil is at optimum temperature, which is about 180 to cook our chicken nuggets. And you don't need to defrost them because just like store-bought frozen chicken nuggets, you can pop them straight into the oil from the freezer. Now, if you wanted to bake these, you could absolutely bake them. Just spray them with a little bit of oil and then they can go straight onto a tray into the oven at 180 degrees. They also air fry really well. Don't these look perfect? Just like the takeaway ones, but you know exactly what ingredients are in them. Now, I must admit, there are a few steps to this, but the whole idea is to do this on one rainy afternoon, do a big batch of them, but you will reap the rewards by having that stash of chicken nuggets ready to go in your freezer. So I'm serving these very simply on a plate with some mayonnaise and some lemon. You could also serve this with a really good quality tomato sauce or just some chili sauce. It's totally up to you. They're actually really nice as is too. And of course, I want to have a taste of one of these. I want to show you how fluffy they are inside too. That's what we're after. I like to add a squeeze of lemon juice, just a little bit, and mayonnaise. Still piping hot, but they are so good. They're just like the takeaway ones, but they always taste better when you make them yourself.